Motealie. What he's talking about is he's going to say prayer first in his language. Moini lawataye. Mukini aniso. Panie chawaye alia pope. Puro ikikenu. Maniatea pokoeatsi. What he says is basically, I thank you for coming. Your hearts are open. And us as the Spirit, as love and light, we listen. And as we listen and as you grow, you move your energy to them. And you raise. Muetaipu. Now you can ask questions.
Whoever wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand and I'll bring over this slip. Okay.
Hi,
Please give your name and then.
my name is Katie, and my question is, if you've seen a Pleiadian past life, are you on this earth to bring spiritual awareness?
Spiritual work is coming. Everybody is working for that spiritual realm to move higher. This is a time of change, a time of new change. This old change is shedding. The old ways have changed. This needs to be overcome, and this is why work has been done. We have brought many, many healers to this world, and they have sat dormant, and many have sat dormant and waiting now, and the time has come. And this is not a long time in the sense of time. In your years and more, next 5 years, we will be more integrated. There will be more presence of extraterrestrial in your version. And yes, this is the time. The more you open your hearts, the minds, and the ability, the higher the frequency continues, and this moves this world to another dimension. I know it seems different in a sense that they do not look like there is room for any growth in this or your world. But it does come, and as it comes, as little as this piece right here, as you move as one group in this room, it moves all over the world and all over the universe and all over our sequences and energies and dimensional planets.
Okay, who else has another question?
Hi, my name is Leslie. There is so much of a push for people to engage in the law of attraction, and as such, we are encouraged to only think about what we want and not think of the less than wonderful things that may be going on in our lives or in the world. But I wonder though, should we sit with and process our negative emotions, even if it means thinking about the bad things, and isn't ignoring those negative feelings storing trauma in our bodies in a way?
The law of attraction is like a pendulum. As it moves one way, it moves back. And as you have bad things in your life that may draw you away from moving to the things that you do wish in your life, that pendulum swings. But the idea of spirituality and the frequency, you can hold that pendulum on one side, and you can hold it higher so that it does not swing back. You need to affirm for something that you really want as much as you felt the things you did not want. This is a reason for us to move you and help you understand the difference of attraction. One thing is just as bad as the bad things that happen has been attracted as well. And so the point of it is to allow the ability to stay into the higher realm of attraction or vice or frequency and vibration, to stay higher in that end. And when you stay there, it doesn't allow it to flow the other way. And the law of attraction has to be felt for what you want with all. You have to feel it, know it, understand it, and be it.
Thank you.
Next.
This is Heather. How many lifetimes have most evolved people gone through to get to where we are now?
The lives are on a dimensional plane. And if you think at how many lives, I don't think you have a big enough number in this world. You process in many different ways, not just one single line. If you think of one line as one life and every life dies every 100 years or whatever your lifespan may be, there isn't enough numbers in that one line. But it is actually multiple lines, multiple universes, multiple dimensions that you are living in this moment at this time. Only as you are here now and feeling this world and this dimension, there are multi of you moving. That is feeding the soul to help you become the soul that moves. And as that soul grows and moves, it produces energy. And as it produces energy, it feeds the universe. So all souls work as one. And as that energy creates, it moves into other dimensions, which creates. So it's never ending and never quitting. And this is the rule of playing and understanding the dimensions of who you are. And even though it seems a long way to understand how many lives there is, some things you know and you just know. These are not just one lives. These are hundreds and thousands of billions of lives functioning in so many different levels and dimensions. That's how many there is.
So as a follow-up to that, as people pass on in this life, there's presumably from what you said, still alive and existing in other dimensions and other lives?
Yes. So there always is another dimension. If you pass in this life, you merge back into the soul to understand what it needed and what it had to learn, and it moves into another. And so this life, but you might not move into this type depending what it is. This is only a form of life. This dimension, this third dimension, basically you live in form. There's dimensions also out of form and lives out of form in a sense. But we do not feel it in that sense anymore when there is no form to the body, because it is now just frequency and vibration. And so, but yet there is an essence, and that essence moves. So is that a life? Yes, it is.
My name's Linda, and I'd like just to follow up on what Heather was talking about. It was posted, there are many worlds, and the afterlife has many forms. Where you go and who you meet, and where you meet them is different for different people. Now, my question is, when we pass, I was under the understanding that a relative or a loved one would come down to meet us to carry us on to our next level in the transition. Now, I guess also my question is, are there different rooms in the universe, and do we go to different places?
When you pass, you move into a place of peace. And yes, relatives or significant something comes to you. It is not always connected in that sense. If it feels familiar, if the soul who has passed is in fear or in trauma or in some sort of disarray, which from this world is most common, then a loved one or something that in that sense from an angel in yours or will show. And it'll bring you to a place of beauty, of peace, and allow you to reflect on who you were and allow the soul, the fraction of the soul of this life to clean, to understand, to all the things that have been accomplished and all the things that have not been accomplished and all the things that should have been accomplished. And that is where that soul holds until it's understood. And then it moves to the main soul, in a sense. It's multi-directional. You see it as here and there. It is always here. There is no there. But for understanding's sake, because you live in form, that is why it is so. So if you go to there, in a sense of passing, there is all there, all the loved ones, all the things you needed, all the past lives helping you, all the dimension, the soul families, all the understandings that most of you understand already. But as that moves in and the soul is clean, then it moves to the next dimension or next level.
So I'd like to continue that follow-up. I'm Rosemary, sorry. On that level with the loved ones, would we be with them, or would they be with us, or are they just there to assist us in the transition, and then from there we leave them?
They are always there. They will be there with you in the transition. And even when you move into this life, there is a whole group that you know, in a sense, from other lives, but you're not allowed to see them, in a sense. But they do come in this life. They sometimes come in your dreams, sometimes they come in another form in sense of human, and you become your friend or your enemy or your person that you work with, or whatever there is, and there's a lesson in there always. Everything is preordained and figured out. There is no really accident of how things move. You do have free will in that sense, but there is no accidents. So they are, yes, all there. And you just don't get to remember some parts, in a sense, to help the soul learn.
My name is Ceci. My question is, which dimension are you inhabiting now, and to which dimension you need to go to connect with us as humans?
Which dimension? I didn't hear the last part, sorry.
Which dimension are you at?
I come from what Walter works with the collective is the sixth dimension. But he works with a collective which is part of this dimensional shift. There's levels, and even saying that is incorrect, but I'm trying to help you understand. Dimensions move, and there's fractions of dimensions of dimensions. So everything is more complicated in that sense. We work with him as a collective, which is a collective of 13, and 13 behind our 13. And so the dialect and the channel, depending who is moving and speaking at that time, will come forward depending what that is. So the sixth dimension is always clean for him. He's comfortable there. He was lived there for many times. His soul is comfortable there. So we keep him close to it. But where we channel from the collective is farther yet. And it is more in a farther depth of creation of the world. And we needed him to be able to handle the frequencies to move to that dimension. The fourth and fifth dimension, the body is good. The sixth is pushing the body. But anything farther, your form, in this form, you cannot accomplish it. The mind will snap if we push to that degree. And this is what the conversation we have to move him into this higher dimension. But he has to develop in a lot of ways to be able to do it. And it is not always pleasant, in a sense, for him, but it works. And now he's learning, and the body is learning. And it's almost like we need more from him to accomplish more, to accomplish what we need to show the world in this dimension that there is such thing. You all believe, but you don't know for sure. And we need to find a way to be able to make it for sure, that you have no doubt that there is. And Walt has decided that he will try to show that and allow us to show you what is real and what is there. And then it is a practical world, so we need to show it in a practical way.
Have any of you 13 been incarnated in this planet in 3D before you were a collective?
They no. That is it where they have not what I collected. This group they collect is no. They say no. It is too far for them to come down, but they use different devices, different ways to use their knowledge to pass down. But they have never lived in this state, in a form of this state. They have not lived in a state under the sixth dimension.
My name's Linda, and I just have one question. You were saying that now is the time for the spiritual world to come together. Is this happening like all over the world? Are there teachers in other parts of the world teaching the same message that you are bringing to us here?
Yes. And with this what we are creating is a platform of spiritual people to reach. In a sense, there was no platform before. You moved in your spiritual journey and it just moved to a point and you never knew where the end was. In a sense, if you went to school and you went to grade 12 and that was your aim, and then it was college and there's your aim. We never set that, and now we have. And we set this spiritual level that all practitioners in your world are seeing or learning to achieve to get to. And this is the game what we are trying to imply and show. Because if you see that plateau, then you know where to go. And once you reach it, we then have moved the society into a place of enlightenment. There was no room in this place for anything else than true love and enlightenment. And it moves in that direction. And we talk about it, or we asked him to teach the ancient meditation, the meditation of the ancients, he calls. And what that is a place to strive to get to. And we know that the world's friction and the energy in this world has increased to such a degree that the mind does not even feel meditation. No matter all the modalities of what meditation were and times what they have done, there is not enough space in the friction in this energy field of this world will not allow the mind to find it. It takes massive discipline. And so we've created a new type of level, a level that does not need that discipline, but yet can achieve the spiritual growth that is needed to achieve that higher plane of evolvement and spiritual growth. We tell YT.
Hi, it's Katie again. The videos I've watched have talked about other worlds being destroyed by technology. Should we be aware of what we put our spirit through from technology and social media and technology itself, like AI?
Unfortunately, there is greatness in this world, in spiritual realms and people and energies and different beings from different worlds that work in great labors to get this world in the right way. On the opposite side, there is the same. And so there is a risk in the sense of what is happening, which dilutes what we want. But as is greatness and all good and all in the light and staying in the path overcomes all the darkness of not wanting it. All these things that has happened, and the technology moves in massive leaps and bounds, and as it creates a friction of disorientation in a way of understanding it and not allowing the mind to grow. there is a way we have worked through that, and we know that this platform idea will work. It will hold the space no matter how much technology of bad interference, so to speak, is caused. The true spirit of the soul knows the light of the way, no matter what state it is in. And all it needs is that little spark. And these are the healers, and these are the healers and the beings that have come to this world to work with us, to create that spark everywhere, all over this universe, on this plane of this planet and all around. It's not just here. It is not just on this planet. It is moved over there is multiple levels of this planet in a sense that you do not see or you do not feel. The dimensions are still moving, and every dimension matters as we move through this. It's not just here and now in that sense. It's multiple, it's directional. There is no being that's not working with this. We work off this in the same way of the chakra program that you feel from the chakras in the crown, and you work your way down. If you think of the planets in the root chakra is the lower foundations, the form bodies, the forms, the animals, the planets that are actually in texture and that you can see and touch. And as you move up, it moves. So the other beings are in more of the sacral chakra and maybe even the solar plex chakra, and they move there, but they can move inside and out of dimensional, being dimensional and not being dimensional. But as you move higher up, there is no such thing as form, but yet it is the same. And then these chakras have come just as easy as you see them or feel them on your body. They are in a dimensional universal plane.
So, this is Heather again. How will the 3D world change in the next 5 years? And my other question to that is, what about our pets? How are they impacted by this?
As far as the worlds and the change in the world, it will move into a more multi-dimensional. So we got the 5 senses. The one thing we are moving first will be the senses of the body. You will have more, 7 or 8 senses. You will feel more externally from the body. Will be able to feel things, feel a person, a relationship in another country or city, and feel if they are sick or dying. You will know, you will have that intuition to see that far and feel, and that is where we're moving, because you need to understand the power of what you hold as far as your form. It has been shielded for lots of reasons. The animals are on a joint consciousness. They work as one. They know the routine. They understand it. They are, in a sense, higher evolved in a lot of ways. They understand it. They feel it. They already know a lot of the things. This is all part of the generation of the way the animal system works. They are a collective consciousness. You are a single consciousness.
Next question.
That was, I'm Rosemary, and I think you answered my question. I was going to ask about the animals being involved in the spiritual process, and if that's just another form.
They work as we evolve and move into more of a better place. They feel it and they move. So they already are there. They just do not allow it. And it will come to a day that you will be able to talk to your animals. Some of you already do. You might not speak in their language, but you know what they say. And that is what that is. That is another sign of the body's, how capable the soul and the frequency is. So as the energy changes in this world, it moves us to, the body is moving, the bodies are changing. The bodies are changing, and the ones that refuse to change, the body is destructing.
This is Melissa.
And I think we all clearly come to you for the same reason. Where we come with our open souls, we come for help, we come for guidance. And like when the ancients came to you out of the blue, and I feel like we're all somewhat connected to not the level of you, but like right under. What happens? How do we know when we're ready? Do they come to us? Do we ask for it?
Yes, you are all connected, and you all can hear us if you wish. To understand when it's your time or when yes, you have to ask. No being or no spirit will intervene on your human case or your human body or your soul. It is yours decision, it is your way of moving, it is your time for this soul. When you need them and you ask and you invite, and they will show you when they do. But it is a time of full, clean heart. Your heart has to be clean. It has to be pure and open to allow. Even though you might say you are, you have to allow. And then there's other issues of the lifestyle and all the things that distract us and not allow that. That is what the body needs to learn. So you do have that option of just opening the door. And the more you open the door, the more we move in. And sometimes it's scarier than it seems, but it is what it is. There is a lot of misconception of the bad things in the world as far as entities and all the things that are wrapped around it. And in a sense, that was a way to stop it, to hold the society or the soul in a fear state to not allow. But yet, if you are true and you understand and you wish and you want, it will happen. We are here. We are waiting. We are all here. And it might not be us as a collective. There are many types of different beings and different levels that are working. We work as one, as an all, but all is one. Yet we are individual.
Next question.
This is Leslie again. I was curious if fictional shows about evil or traumatic events would lower our vibration.
Please repeat, please.
Do fictional shows or things that we read or watch on TV that are about traumatic events or evil happenings, do they lower our vibration?
Yes, to a degree. It is the mind. If you watch the show and it is just what it is, and you understand what it is, a show, it doesn't matter. It doesn't freak. But if it scares you, or if it continues to pull, it is like a virus in the mind of consciousness. That fear, that entity show you watch, and you feel that entity and you think, and we are knocking on the door, come with us, and here we're asking you to join us, and we're trying to talk to you, or we're trying to get your attention. And the fear of that show might not allow, because you could be an entity, and suddenly there's this block, and suddenly the vibration is lower, and suddenly there's a wait time, in a sense. That is the issues that come with it.
Thank
Hi, this is Devin. I was just wondering if on this planet, as a group of humans, are we getting any of this right? Are there
Take a
more
boy.
good than evil? I mean, are we winning the good fight?
They're chuckling. Yes, you are where you are. In the sense of the planet, of the earth, and the beings of which you are in the right spot. And it is a battle that is going to be achieved one way or another. The human soul will not allow it to move into the bad part. You are here to evolve, and it will not allow it to not evolve. We don't not intervene, but we pay attention. And so when things go too far over, there is a shift. And in a sense, where this world is now, it has shifted. And now the spiritual side is pushing. And now some of the things are dropping off in a sense of people and things. But also the technology is moving. And so everything's moving as long as it's in the creation of the involvement of the species. And as you move farther, it will appreciate and gain traction in a sense. So yes, you are okay. It is just a lot of illusion on what is smokes and mirrors. And if you go back to that show, is the smoke.
Hi, it's Katie again. When we talk about a lost soul, and we talk about all these past lives and having multiple lives lived, is this a soul that hasn't lost itself? Or how do we describe a lost soul that's living trapped in an area or residual or...
Tia poi taua neke ya tau moa ti. Tia mali ya te au e chi. The soul is never lost. It is dormant. If the soul never will leave you. And you got to remember, you're multiple souls. You're multiple of a program. It's not just one. But the soul can be damaged to such a degree that it does turn dormant. And then when it turns dormant, the form starts to collapse in a sense of suicide and body functions deterioration. But the soul is still there with a mission, a program, if you wish, to continue to figure this out. And so it can be retrieved or reconnected. The soul will move slightly away from the form to allow the form to understand, and the personality. The form is the body, the personality is the essence of the form. The soul controls all of it. But the soul has to, if the soul does not have control, because the form and the personality has chosen different, it will move away to a degree. It will not be lost in a sense, but you, in this terms, call it lost.
Okay, it's Melissa. If there's no good or bad or right or wrong, and we just go through life with a clean heart, and when people speak of karma, is karma considered, I guess I want an explanation of karma. Is it kind of like if you go to hell, if you're raised Catholic and you get a divorce? I mean, is it to that level of amateurish, or do you just have to keep learning your lessons in these different lives?
Learning lessons and karma are quite different.
Okay.
But karma, in a sense, is energy. And if the energy is bad, since, in a sense, you go through life and you do bad energy, do bad things, you create a darker energy. So that darker energy has to be something, has to move, and usually it moves to the light. And when it moves to the light, it does not switch to somebody else's light. It stays with your light. And that, in a sense, because karma. So when something beautiful moves into your life, when you're done with the bad things, but you still have bad energy attached to this soul, it destructs it. It uses the light to balance the. So in a sense, that's karma. And that's how it moves. There's always a balance. And you can change it, but you have to go through it. And you have to understand it to go through it. And so it moves with you, this dark energy. Dark energy is created. There is dark energy in our world too. Dark energy moves as much as we push the light, and light is created and universes move. There's still darkness. And when there's darkness, it creates an energy. And when there's energy, it creates its own darkness. Because it's dark, dark energy. And when dark energy starts to exist, it looks for light. And that, in a sense, creates an entity.
Have you been advisors or spiritual guides for previous indigenous tribes around the planet before? Or is this the first time that you connect with a human group?
Yes. We were connected with the Mayan tribes way back in the early 1600s. We were integrated with them. We integrated in the sense where Walter's working towards. We integrated to a point where we could give them the high technology, the things they needed to survive, to produce at that time. And as we did that, it worked quite well to move the society where we needed to move in that primitive time in a lot of ways. But then it was almost became too much. The gods, the things, the control, it moved away. But yes, that was where he was once.
Is the language that you use the origin of any specific language in this planet?
Pachachoe. Say that one more time.
Is the language that you use the seed for any language that developed in the planet afterwards? Is it part of the indigenous languages that were used before?
No, no, it's not the language from this prime or any tribe, I would say. It is a language they put together in a sense of frequency and vibration. And Chakatia, when Walter wanted to hear it, to understand it, we used this, and if you tried, it would be closest to the Mayan tribes. The Mayan language is very close to this, is what we are copying from. But we use the frequencies so the language is moving always. It is not like your language where it is one word and what it is. The words move with the vibration of the energy that is produced from us. But we had to put it in such a way that he could understand it and say it, and because he asked. The frequency and the vibrations of the language move with them. And what that does is that gives him a sense of what we are saying. We didn't need the language, but we needed him to understand what we wanted. And he was not sure if the language or the vibration, what he was hearing in a sense of intuitive sense, was true or not. He needed clarity. He wanted clarity. And so we developed this language. And we use the Mayan languages very close to this in a lot of ways. But a lot of the words in what he speaks in our language is just true frequency words and vibration, which resonates, which gives him the idea of it. And it soothes the soul. This vibration and frequency works with your frequencies and vibration, which allows it, even though you don't understand the words, and neither does Walter in a lot of ways, he understands. And as you listen and you hear them, your soul understands. It listens, it hears the vibration of what it is, which is more than the word itself that really matters. Mauatie, chokuroite, aliemu, tanie kiche koamu, anitate, atiatso. Poreatinieki kenamawatsalia. The words with the vibration, and it moves. And ikitia wa. And when Walter says them words, he sees how we move in sequence. And if you would listen to yourself, you could feel the movement of the body. We ete yatso. And as that vibration moves with you, that's what clears you. That's what the light is. That's what the soul feels. And it produces into the body, which makes the body move. It creates energy in the body, which moves the heart and moves the blood. Jakatiye, choa. But when it gets stuck and gets held or damaged from whatever happens to the form, the energy flow stagnates and gets stuck. And it starts to get brittle and produces cancer, illnesses, blood diseases, and all these problems. And mukatieti muatani, the sense of moving in the sense of spirituality and frequencies is to move the body and allow it. The form is just a small paper over the whole energy field of that form you are in.
Okay, this is Melissa again. When the soul leaves the body in this life, and they always say, like, they see the light, or, you know, as humans, we see the light and then we move on. When you have this group or ancestors or whoever's waiting for you on the other side to welcome you, whatever, God, whoever, what do they see? Is it like a twinkle in the sky? Is it like a shooting star? Is it just energy and you feel
What does
it?
the form see?
Yeah. Like, what do your people see? Like, if you died right now and you see the light and your energy, you're leaving your body as a human. Are they there to welcome you? Do they?
Yeah, yes. And it's pure beauty. The body is heavy and clunky and like an old tractor. Compare when you move into the light in a sense of leaving this form, it is clean, it is bright, it is beautiful, the most vivid colors you've ever seen in your life. The feeling of love overwhelming, it is all that in one instantly. And it allows you to be everything you truly are. You get to see what your soul is and who you are and all the lives and all the things. In a sense of what Dalt's channeling, he sees that. And it is the most beautiful thing you ever see in this world or other. And that is where everything is. Understanding it, the freedom and the feeling of it, it is unbelievable in a sense. And what you see is just pure beauty. Whatever that is to you, multiply it 50 times, and that's still maybe not even close to what it is. We have showed Walter what it was. He has seen it once when he died before, and this once when he had a customer. And this he understood, and this was what helped us allow him to move and trust us. Because he also felt the fear. The fear is the unknown, and these things are all the viruses in the mind that stops you from connecting to us, to allowing us in. But it is coming. You're learning. Just keep moving in that direction. You are already knowing where you're going. You just need to let yourself get there.
I think we have a few more questions and then.
Okay, this is Heather, and actually a follow-up to what you just said. Is there one thing that each of us here in this room can do on a daily basis to evolve toward that?
Tipapati de wata nikchachachawa. Eti alea moro e chiato e kitawate. We need to find who you are. Good, what you like and what you don't like, but you need to go to that person. And you need to find that person and ask that person in yourself, what do you want? And where are you going to go? And what do you really want? And not in a form of money and all the things of material sense. The soul, what do you really want? Where do you see yourself when you go in another world and you end up in the world of back in your soul group? What do you want? What did you want out of this world? What did you achieve? If you just ask that, and you might not know the answer, and that's okay too. The soul knows, and even the vibration of asking will open the door. And I guess the answer to the question is ask yourself what you really, really need out of this world as far as personally growth to become the person that you feel you need to be or want to be in a sense.
Okay, one more question. You got Isabel?
Yeah.
That's it?
What type of
No, one more.
what type of help can you provide to humanity at the moment when we face a catastrophic event? What is the help that you are willing to give humanity in those moments?
The help is there. You have to allow it in. You have to believe it that we are there to help you. You have to open that door to let it in. And the trauma, whatever has happened, has caused that door to close to a degree. So the door needs to be open. And you need to find the way to open that door. And all you need to do is ask. And we will help you find the tool to open that door.
Well, that's all the questions. You got a final message for us, or a goodbye, or?
Jipawe ni e mo patau e yi kachachicha waki ali e mo ali e chao. Trust in yourself, love yourself, and love your neighbor. Tawati ma moko e te.